Hey there Facebook, it's Vanessa here again, motivational speaker, trainer and head coach at Live, Love, Give, and today's message is a little bit different. I wanted to talk into one of my absolute favorite topics, which is all around tapping into your masculine and your feminine energies for both personal growth as well as sort of understanding attraction in relationships. And yeah, it's powerful, powerful stuff. And so that's what I wanted to chat to you about first of all. And I guess how I should start this message is kind of explaining and talking into masculine and feminine energies and what they are. So we all have both. So all of us as human beings, we have the ability to tap into more masculine energies and more feminine energies. But what happens is, it's not really, gender specific. It's more so that, 80 to 90% of women are more feminine in energy as their natural essence, and 80 to 90% of men are more masculine in their natural essence of energy. So let's explain what that is. And just before I do, I'll just say a quick hi to Sabri and Jamie and Minot and Moises and Sheriff. Awesome to have you guys. And hey Rich, nice to have you. So first of all, I want to explain masculine energy and remembering that we have both, but we do have one that's more predominant, which is more naturally, authentic to us. It's our essence. So see, when I explain these, which of those two energies you feel is more resonating to who you are, and also which one sounds more attractive to you, because ultimately it's our masculine and our feminine energies that make for attraction between people. So let's get into it. So masculine energy is all about, being a train on the tracks. It's a leader, it's confident, it knows what it wants and goes after it. It takes charge, it's focused, it's strong, and it's driven, it's logical, it's rational. And like I said, we all can get into this this mode, this energy, but ultimately, for some of us, predominantly men out there, this is really natural to you. You really train on the track style. And then feminine energy is more about, all about feeling. It's kind of soft and radiant, and it gets into flow, and it's open to love, and it can be kind of wild and unpredictable. It's kind of like, if the masculine energy is like a train on a tracks, feminine energy is kind of like an unpredictable storm. You never kind of quite know what you could be getting, and it's very spontaneous and free-flowing. And yeah, like I said, we all have both energies available to us, but which one of those sounds more resonating with the truth of who you are? Because I like to talk into masculine and feminine energies and dynamics when I talk into greater levels of authenticity as to who you are as an individual, and also when it comes to relationships, this is ultimately what makes that magnetic attraction. Masculine and feminine energies are like polar opposites. They when you have one of each, it's really attractive to one another. Somebody who with a feminine essence is really attracted to somebody who's a train on the tracks, like driven, ambitious, like going for it, kind of unstoppable. And on the flip side, somebody who's more masculine in their essence is more attracted to somebody who's kind of, free and open and kind of spontaneous. So it's really interesting to see these dynamics. And ultimately, like I said, tapping into it for our personal development as well, because so many of us, throughout our lifetime, throughout our childhood and growing up, we get given so many mixed messages about what's kind of right and what's rewarded and what's kind of like looked down upon. And if I bring part of my personal story into it, in my family, I'm the only girl and I'm the youngest, and as a younger child, you're kind of always looking up to your older siblings, and definitely my family has a very masculine sort of driven. They're very ambitious. They've done very well. They're very successful, and sort of going after it in that term of being really trained on the tracks, logical, and not really getting the more soft flowing, spontaneous, free flowing feminine energy. And you know, excluding my mum because she's entirely feminine. But you know, growing up in that dynamic, it would have been easy for me to put on a lot of masculine masks, and sort of, you know, because masculinity was rewarded and not so much the feminine energy. And you know, there's family members that I have that really don't get the feminine side, you know, and I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm very feminine at my core, and that's who I am authentically. And it's taken some time and some personal growth through my personal growth journey to recognize that my feminine energy is a real strength. Neither is a better than the other, and ultimately they bring different dynamics that we all need. And you know, I'm gonna hit the gym later on today, and that's when I tap into my masculine energy. You know, when I get to the gym, I've got my headphones in, I'm not talking or collaborating or connecting with anybody. I am a trainer on the tracks, getting the job done, pushing my body past its current limits. And that's how I tap into a healthy version of my masculinity. And also my business, you know, I'm running a business myself, and you know, going for it and trying to orchestrate like everything in the business. You know, you're gonna have some masculine energy with that as well. But ultimately, you know, and tapping into our feminine core does wonders for really masculine men as well. You know, to tap into being a whole rounded out individual. That's what you know, that's part of your growth journey, is to understand what's your natural essence, and also find really healthy ways of tapping into the other side so that you can round out, you can connect better with yourself, with others, and ultimately have a better understanding of others and appreciation for others. So yeah, so for those masculine men out there, maybe it's tapping into more feminine energy by listening to music, dancing, you know, stuff like that. There's some masculine men in my life who I know like going salsa dancing, you know, because it sort of taps into this other side of them that, you know, they don't feel that comfortable with it, but it pushes them and it helps them grow as an individual. So I'm really into talking into the masculine and the feminine energies. And before I keep going on, again, I just want to check in with you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, comments as I'm explaining this. Is it resonating with you guys the way I'm explaining it? Let me know. And Greg, nice to have you, and Rob, and Anyeta, thanks for joining again, and Eric, awesome, I love having you here, and thank you, Jamie, loving the positive energy, and yeah, Rob in Australia, love it, me too, and oh my gosh, every day I should practice your name, so Alavarison. I hope that was right, thank you, and Rich, Corey, awesome, George, Lisa, awesome, so great to have you on Lisa Live, I love it. And Anne, my friend, hi Vanessa, I'm a little of both. I'm driven and focused, but so feminine as well. I'm very emotional naturally. I can usually read the emotions of others and can sense the needs of others. Definitely, and I got to meet you, the lovely Anne, yesterday, and yeah, I could see that, you know, naturally at your core, Anne, you are definitely a feminine woman, but, you know, I want you guys to get this point out there that it doesn't mean that if you're feminine you can't achieve. Like, ultimately, being a strong feminine woman is having that total knowingness and authenticity in your feminine energy, not tapping into its strength rather than putting on a masculine mask and saying, in order to succeed I have to be a different way, rather than my authentic self stepping into my truth and knowing that I can call upon my masculine or my feminine energy as per the situation that I'm involved in to bring my best self and get the best result, depending on what that is. And so many women out there, when there's that struggle in relationship, what's happening, you know, when you lose that polarity, when you lose that attraction in your relationship, ultimately what's happening is you've lost the polarity. So a lot of women out there who are really successful in business, they come home to their partner and they're still in their masculine energy and they haven't figured out how to shift that, or they're not even aware of what's going on there, and it pushes their partner into more feminine energy, and they just kind of lose that attraction, because what brings you together in the beginning is that authentic energy that you're bringing and you're tapping into, and you know, you tapping in as a woman, if that's naturally at your core more feminine energy, being able to make the switch into that so that you can, you know, go into it and you know, achieve what you need to achieve in that energy, but also recognize the dynamic in your relationships so that you can keep the attraction alive long term and be able to do things that will transition you back into your feminine core. And likewise for men out there, if you're not sure enough of yourself, if you're a bit uncertain, you don't have much ambition or direction or clarity in your life, you tend to fall into more feminine energy, and ultimately, you know, it's not your strength. You're not tapping into your strength. You know, feminine women out there, they can't wait to see you step into that masculine strength that you have, and ultimately, if you don't tap into it, you'll either just lose the attraction in relationship, or you might attract a more masculine woman who's masculine at her core. But if it's not your truth that you're feminine at your core, you're always kind of gonna be living this kind of lie. So I know this is a lot of information, particularly if you guys haven't heard this stuff before, but yeah, so stop me now because I can go off on this topic. I love it so much. And yes, and I'd love to actually work with the personality psychology with you, because I can see what can kind of be going on there. And like I said, now feminine and masculine energy, we're kind of on a scale. This is kind of like when I spoke into extroverts and introverts. You know, we're all ambiverts. You know, we've all got both. It's just this degree to which we live more into which one. And it's the same thing with masculine and feminine energy. There's some people out there who are like nearly 100%, you know, on this masculine or feminine energy. They're at that end of the scale. And there's others who are kind of more 50-50. But ultimately, there's one of these is more natural to you at your core. And when you step into that level of authenticity, and you develop the other side, so that ultimately you can call upon either your masculine or feminine, dependent on what the situation calls for, which is going to move you closer to the results that you're trying to achieve, then that is so much, there's so much power in understanding these dynamics. And Chris, awesome to have you, and Joe from Maryland, and Carolyn, awesome to have you back. Awesome. I love that you're enjoying this discussion, Rich. That's awesome. And Moises, thanks for joining me from Mexico. Yes, Carolyn, you're totally a feminine woman. I love it. And Donald would like to do a one-on-one. Awesome. Well, I'll send you the link. I'll just drop it. I'll drop it in the top when I get off this video, and you guys can. I've just opened up a bunch more sessions because I was jam-packed full, and I've loved getting to meet you guys, so I want to keep that up. So I've just opened up some more spots if you guys want to jump on a quick call and see how I can help you break through and how I can help support you in your life right now. That'd be awesome. And Abdul, nice to have you. I love that, Jamie. And Gerardo, thanks for joining. And Heidi, so grateful that this is a great topic for you. I love that you feel like I'm reading your mind. I love that connection. And Vo, thank you so much. And yes, and I think we do that. I think we should do that. So yeah, let's get in contact after this video. Shane, nice to have you. And Moises, thank you. How can I have more masculine energy as a man? Okay, I love this question because I just love the power that it can bring to both men and women, particularly when it comes to, you know, you've lost that attraction in your relationship, or you as a man, you've lost your drive, you've lost your direction, you're kind of feeling like you're out of the game and you're not feeling good within yourself. I love nothing more than helping you break through this, because ultimately, Moises, thank you for your question. It starts with you recognizing and understanding the differences between masculine and feminine, and then ultimately recognizing which one feels more true to you at your core, because there's a lot of noise out there saying that men have to be a certain way, women have to be a certain way and play these particular roles. But it's like I said at the beginning, 80 to 90% of men will be more masculine at their core, 80 to 90% of women will be more feminine at their core, but there is that 10 to 20% who are in the other realm, you know, those women who are more masculine at their core naturally. You know, they get mixed messages about their feminine energy and end up having to put masks on and not feel authentic. Same thing with men, you know, being told boys don't cry, men don't feel, whatever they get told, those mixed messages. And ultimately, they might be part of that 10 to 20% of more feminine at their core men. So I'd want you to first identify that, Moises. And then secondly, I'd want you to tap in. A great way to tap into your masculine energy is what I mentioned before. Masculine energy is always about breaking through challenge. And there's a really simple way to do that, and that's to get yourself to the gym, go for a run, push your body past its current limits is such an awesome way to tap into your masculine energy and start building that strength. But yeah, it's all about, you know, getting that clarity, getting that direction, tapping into your confidence, building your confidence, your self-belief, your trust in yourself, and having focus, you know, rather than filtering life through everybody else's wants, desires, emotional needs. Masculine energy, the real strength of that masculine energy is being able to take, you know what the people that they love and support in their lives need and want, and being the leader, you know, knowing what you want. Never ever jeopardize the strength and the truth of who you are for anybody else. You know, so many great intentioned men out there, you know, they just want to make their woman happy, but they end up trying to make their woman happy at the expense of their truth. And that is so detrimental to the livelihood of your relationship, to the attraction. You know, women, we can tend to say we want a lot of things, but ultimately what we really want is you to step up in your strength and lead the way. And you know, that's, you know, just a little bit diving into it. Like I said, I could go off all day on this. So I hope that, Moises, that was valuable to you. Get clear to make certain that you are naturally more masculine at your core. And then as a man, you know, if that's the truth, you got to find ways to break through challenge, get clarity and direction. Nothing better for your masculine energy and tapping into that trust within yourself. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for the compliments, Carolyn. I really appreciate that very, very much. And, you know, guys, do you have any other questions? There was something else that I wanted to bring up, but I'm wary of time. I know, you know, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but Anne, what have you written to me? I had a friend who reached out to me regarding her divorce, and she said her husband is just like a stranger, or he is not even who she was married to. She has very masculine energy, and this may be what is going on here. He may have been more feminine around her and now tapped into the masculine energy to make him a complete opposite when she's around him now. What are your thoughts? Okay. So I'd want to know a little bit more of the background history. I'd want to know, you know, was your friend who you're saying is very much in her masculine energy, do you think that she's naturally masculine at her core? Because a lot of women put on these masculine masks in order to feel safe, you know, and there's so many feminine women with these masculine masks who look that they've got it all together, they're strong, they're determined, they're successful, but ultimately what they're yearning for is a really strong masculine man to allow her to feel safe and protected in his energy. But what often can happen is that strong woman in her masculine energy can often attract more feminine men, even though at her core she's feminine and yearning for a masculine man. So there's a lot of different dynamics that are going on. It's a really fascinating subject, but what I would say to you, Anne, is to maybe have a conversation with your friend and introduce her, if she doesn't know already, about what masculinity is, you know, that train on a track, strong, ambitious, you know, going for it, focused, confident. You know, is she more attracted to a man who shows up that way? Or is she more attracted to a man who's kind of more spontaneous and free-flowing and, you know, soft and radiant and, you know, kind of wild a little bit, you know? Which one is she more attracted to is a great way of tapping into what you are at your core, because you're always attracting the opposite. So yeah, I'd want you to have a conversation with her, Anne. I'd love to hear what happens with that conversation. There's so many different things that can come into play, but particularly another little piece of that could be that her partner, you know, he might have lost his masculine core, you know, with whatever's going on in his world. You know, he's lost himself in the relationship, which can often make him sort of tune out and tap out a bit and not be who he was in the beginning, because he's lost his individuality. You know, he's lost that sense of freedom, of individuality, which a lot of men can run into that challenge because they're unaware of the dynamics going on between masculinity and femininity. So awesome. I love that you brought that into this discussion. I hope that my comments there were helpful, but yeah, I'd need to have a bit more information, but definitely start that conversation with her. That would be awesome. And Moises, thank you. I think masculine energy, but sometimes I found women that want to be masculine and there is a problem. Yeah, so you know, you're either tapping into attracting those masculine women who are truly masculine at their core, or, you know, potentially you're attracting those feminine women who are just feeling really unsafe and they want to see you break through to them and make them feel safe enough to let go and step into the truth of their femininity. So hope my comments are helpful there. And thank you so much, Joel. Awesome to have you, and same to you. And Moises, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Lisa, love that story. That story is me, masculine mask. I can't remember when I felt safe. Keep up the great topics. Oh, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. I love you sharing your comments, and I'm grateful that this is valuable to you. Yeah, awesome, Anne. Let me know how that goes. I'd be really fascinated and interested. And also, you know, a big part of the work that I do is helping couples with this, because I believe that there are so many couples out there who could have extraordinary quality of relationship and attraction, and they're just missing a few of these key understandings and tapping into their authenticity. And there is nothing better, you know, it's one of the most fulfilling things for me to see a couple reignite that spark that was once lost because of these simple little things that they're just missing. And instead of, you know, losing that relationship and ending up like roommates or leaving the relationship, they can actually tap into this newfound knowledge for greater levels of that personal development and reigniting that spark and attraction. So definitely let me know about that. And Rich, interesting how this discussion overlays the earlier one regarding introverts, extroverts. Would you care to comment about how these intersect? Okay, so all I was really saying there, because, you know, introvert and extrovert is not necessarily tapped into the masculine or the feminine. Both masculine and feminine people can be both introverted or extroverted. There's a few different trains of thought with that, but it's my understanding and my belief that it's not split between masculine or feminine energy at all. But yeah, what I was referring to in terms of the intersect here between the introverts and extroverts versus the masculine and the feminine energy was that we're all on a sliding scale and that we all have both. It's not black or white. You know, you're not just an extrovert, you're not just an introvert, you're not just masculine in your energy, and you're not just feminine in your energy. It's kind of like a scale that we're on. You know, you might be 80-90% on one direction. So I hope that that made sense how I explained that, and thank you for your question, Rich. You're welcome, Moises, and awesome. Thanks, Carmen. Great to have you. I don't know what did Lisa say? Oh, yes. Awesome, yeah. And the masculine, I absolutely also love helping truly feminine women at their core who have been placing these masculine masks on over and over again, which is really just impeding on their self-belief and their ability to create truly deep, you know, really connected and attracted relationships with others, because they're trying to protect themselves and they're not tapping into the truth of who they really are. I love helping those women break through to higher levels of their authenticity through femininity. So definitely, if that's something of interest to you, make sure that you reach out. I'd love to help you. Yes, great that was made sense for you, Rich. Thank you so much. Yes, Moises, I do coaching through Skype or through video. I absolutely, if you guys have jumped on a call with me yet, you know, I hate not being able to see you. I'm all about the video. I feel more connected because I know you guys are all from across the globe. So that's awesome. Now guys, I think I'm going to tie it off here. There was a couple more things that I wanted to bring to you guys, but I think I could go on a whole new Facebook Live, and I want to be respectful of your time today. I so appreciate having you guys engage with me, be live with me. I know I'm really random, so you never know when I'm going to be on. So it means a lot to me that you guys can engage. Yes, Heidi. Definitely can't wait to connect with you. That'll be awesome. And guys, that was my message today. I hope that, you know, if you hadn't heard of masculine or feminine energies, or you might have, you know, in passing heard about it, I hope that today's message has given you a little bit deeper understanding about what that is, how you can use masculine and feminine energies and that understanding for personal development and also your attraction in relationships, because I really believe that it's, you know, it's the friendship in relationship, you know, it's those similarities in relationship that create the great friendship. But ultimately, the only difference between a friendship and a relationship is that intimacy piece. And if you don't have attraction and you don't know how to tap into the dynamics of attraction, you know, you could end up in a relationship that has no attraction left, and you've ended up as friends at most, and maybe roommates, and maybe you go your separate ways, and maybe you didn't have to. So I'm a big believer in, you know, the honeymoon lasting a lifetime. I do believe that, as long as you have the knowledge and you know how to tap into this stuff. So great to see you guys, and just say a quick hello to Hassan and Eric. Thank you so much, Eric. I'm off. I hope you guys are having a rocking day around the world, wherever you are, whatever time of the day it is. I'm going to go, like I said, go out, hit the gym, go have some fun, enjoy the sunshine, even though it's freezing outside. And it's always a pleasure to get to connect with you guys. Thank you so much. Like I always say, I just love you guys so much. You make my day. I really appreciate connecting with you all. So sending you all my love, light, blessings, gratitude, positive energy, throwing it all at you, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.